Hello, everyone, and good evening. Well, I said it once this season, and I'll say it again. It's crazy how fast things can change in a matter of 1 week. This week, we mourn the loss of an American giant and take a look at global politics. Coming to you from the Commonwealth, welcome back to Nude News. Welcome back to Nude News. As always, I'm Andrew Furman. This episode, we here at ECTV want to take time to highlight and discuss the extremely influential and important life of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. A consistent advocate for equality and women's rights, RBG argued 6 landmark cases in front of the Supreme Court before being appointed to the highest court of the land in 1993 by Bill Clinton. Throughout her time on this earth, Ginsburg became a role model, a hero, and a cultural icon. To discuss RBG's personal importance to so many in this country, we'd like to welcome in our legal and Supreme Court correspondent, Victoria Masciulli. Victoria, can you hear me?
Yes.
So I just want to open this up for you. On a personal level, what did Ruth Bader Ginsburg mean to you?
So, for context, I went to an all-girls high school. While I was there, I started a club revolving around the Supreme Court, and my goal for creating this club was to share my love for the Supreme Court and for debate. And that did end up happening. I know that with the small group that I had, they were all really passionate about the Supreme Court and what it stood for. What I didn't expect, though, was how iconic and how important RBG would become in those moments, too, because not only were we a group of people who took great inspiration from the court, but we were a group of young girls who saw RBG as a trailblazer for women to really be involved with and to help fix the flaws in our government. And something that really stuck out to me while I was having a conversation with my aunt, she told me that so often with these figures that we look up to, we forget that they started in a place of uncertainty. They didn't know where they would end up or what they would end up doing, and they faced a lot of no's and a lot of challenges to get to where they are. And that really means a lot to me, a college student who has no idea where she'll be in 10 to 20 years, to know that RBG, this advocate and protector of women's rights, that she too was in this position at one point in life, and that with enough courage and enough perseverance, I did have a chance to make as much of an impact on this country as she did, and that even if I don't, then I can keep trying.
Thank you so much for calling in today, Victoria. It was great to hear your perspective on this. To discuss the political implications of RBG's passing, we turn to Chief Correspondent Mark Ramson. Mark, President Trump has stated that he plans on appointing RBG's replacement in the coming week. How is this nomination different than court nominations in the past?
Well, the average amount of time for a justice to get confirmed is about 70 days. And with less than 40 days until the election, if Trump's Supreme Court pick is confirmed, it would be one of the fastest confirmations we've seen in recent history. That on its own is enough to cause controversy. But on top of that, the next justice could face some crucial decisions as conservatives aim to reform decisions like Roe v. Wade and potentially rule the Affordable Care Act to be unconstitutional. 2 very important issues for both Republicans and Democrats.
So, Mark, let's turn our lens to 2020. How is this appointment process going to affect some key races in the election cycle? As always, good talking to you, Mark. We'll catch up again next week for some more election updates. From RBG and election coverage, we go to the world stage as we are joined by our global affairs correspondent, Matt Smith.
It's great to be here, Andrew. Thanks.
Well, thanks for being here with us today, Matt. So last season, we touched on a story involving Uyghur Muslims, and I wanted you to quickly revisit this topic and kind of enlighten us on what's happening in China right now.
So currently, the Chinese government is continuing their crusade against the Uyghur Muslims in their northwestern province. Historically, the northwestern province has been somewhat autonomous, but the Chinese government has been looking to more expand their power there and over that province. As more Han Chinese move into the area, more Uyghur Muslims are being put into these camps that are being compared to concentration camps.
Wow. So let's kind of talk about the international powers at play here. So what pressures are the international community putting on China because of this?
Unfortunately, right now, it's a lot of typical naming and shaming. The Chinese were able to initially justify these actions against the Uyghur Muslims because there is some extremist activity going on in the province, but it's not as widespread as the Chinese government claims to be. So under the global war on terror, nations in the West initially supported these actions, but now through revealing reports in journalism, it's become to realize in the West that this plan is initially what the Chinese said it was going to be.
Well, thank you, Matt, and we'll make sure and have you continue to keep us updated on that. Thank you for joining us, but don't get too comfortable in that seat over there. Mark's coming back next semester. All right, that's all for today's episode. Remember, size only matters when it comes to poll numbers and maybe crowd sizes. From everyone here at ECTV 40 and Nude News, I'm Andrew Furman saying so long and good night.